You okay? Hi, everybody. I just wanted to, hey, T-Barb. I just wanted to let you all know I'm here. I'm just going to go pop over there. Look, there's the baby. Can you see her? She's whining. She's got her Mr. Pickles and her little dinosaur. But yeah, I'm going to go make some coffee, get some things. And I just did this about 20 minutes. This is for the current POTUS. I had to code it on the title. But I also want us to go over the one we just did a couple days ago on mango, because some interesting developments have happened recently. And I think we touched base on those yesterday, as well as Johnny and his grand tableau. We both got secret conversations with secret conversations, secret phone calls, because it was, let me see, what was it? Birds in the House of Writers. So news about conversations and phone calls that were important in regards to a loss that were being kept secret with members of the house or the entourage. And the woman sits in the House of Birds. That's conversations, negotiations, meetings, phone calls. And we found out today about Rana McDaniel might be in some super hot water, so we can touch on that. But this one is the current person in office. So let me get my stuff ready. Sorry I'm going late. Well, it is Friday night. It's late night tales, so pardon me for that one. So I'll be right back. Hey, Jenny. Auntie Biscuits. I got a story for y'all when I get back, but give me a second. What's up, baby? Hello, everybody. How's everybody doing? So, do you guys want to go over the quick stuff with the go from 2 days ago? Okay, so the one from 2 days ago, in the column of April and September, this one here with the woman, I was saying there's like convictions or indictments here for the column of April, and then like a conviction or an indictment here in September, but it's around a woman, and she's sitting in the House of Birds. And like I was mentioning earlier, the Birds is communications, phone calls, and the corners were talking about secret phone calls that were made with members of an entourage. Well, we found out today about Rana McDaniel being on the phone offering, and then we have the bouquet in the House of Man. So she is an ally or a friend in the entourage. She was on the phone. The tree in the House of Garden, garden in the House of Tree, to grow popularity. Okay, offering for the man the transition of many. And that's for the column of January. So I would not be surprised if we start hearing more about these developments in regards to Rana McDaniel. And it could be another woman. I think we talked about a woman close to Biden, the opponent that he's trying to overcome, going on a few journeys or traveling a lot to speak about public health and all this other stuff as a favor to the friend, as the vice president, which that I think is taking place next month as well. But this could also apply to Rana McDaniel because it's a woman on a phone. But in this column here, the one for September, we could see further developments as this continues, further developments and possible indictments. She's got the garden over her head. So she's part of an organization, which presumably could be the RNC, because she runs the RNC. She's got the bear here, so executive. She's got the majority here with the fish, but they were trying to block something and steal it and deliver what she desired. She was offering on behalf of the man, Spanky, legal here with the tower in the House of letter in the House of Tower council. And we found that out today on the bombshell today, or was it today or yesterday? I'm getting my days mixed up. The bombshell reporting that Rana McDaniel was indeed on the phone. Hey, Autumn. The current person that's in office right now, I have to use coded language, but she was offering legal counsel or to pay the legal bills for these electors to overturn an election. So she's on this line that we talked about yesterday where it intersects with indictments and convictions. So I wouldn't be surprised if I need to do a grand tableau on her as well. So yeah. So for Joe Biden, or the current person, I just did this one today after I got off the phone with Jenny. So I'm going to put this one down and we can talk about it. So while I'm laying these down, I'll tell you all a little story. Took Braxy to the vet today. She's weighing in at 29 pounds or 69 pounds. I'm sorry. She's weighing in at a whole 69 pounds at 6 months old. So we are with the vet. We're going to cut her food down by half a cup a day because the vet was concerned. I mean, she's within a healthy weight. She's not overweight or anything. She's just concerned because she is such a large breed, and she's still got about 1.5 years worth of growth ahead of her, that for her hips and joints and everything, just to see if we can take just a little bit off, until we can see a little bit of her ribs, not to where she looks like she's emaciated or anything. So there's that. And then she got her shots. She made a lot of friends at the vet today. Lots of friends. She made a friend with a Rottweiler and a bunch of people that were there that wanted to say hi and come and talk to her. She was really, really good with the staff and well-mannered and well-behaved. And I was talking to one of the ladies, one of the vet techs, and I was asking, because I was waiting outside while they were doing some work on her, if she had been whining or anything, because I wasn't there. And she's like, no. She's like, whatever you're doing, keep doing it, because she's an angel. And I was like, oh my God, I'm such a proud mommy, proud mommy moment. And let me see what else happened. Oh, and then this morning she woke me up at 3:30 in the morning, and she was like going crazy on her ear, like scratching the crap out of her ear. So I cleaned it out and I brought it up to the vet, the cotton ball. So the vet took a sample, and little Braxy has an ear infection. It's fungal. So the doctor didn't want me to switch her food just yet. But then with talking with her and everything, she's like, just don't give her anything with sugar and this, that, and the other thing. No treats if you're going to, because Braxy's very food motivated. So I was asking about that, and the vet tech was just telling me, just instead of giving her treats, take out food out of her portion for the day and use that for her treats when I'm training. So I was like, okay, I'll do that. But then I started thinking about it and came home and looked at the nutritional information on the on the food, and I started looking at the ingredients. And the first thing is a chicken byproduct, and the rest of it is just cornmeal, corn this, corn that, corn everything. So I called my coworker because she had a Corso, and I was talking to her this afternoon, and she's like, well, okay, so don't, because the vet wanted me to not switch her off the food yet until she goes back in for her for a checkup in 2 weeks. But then my coworker and I started looking at the food list together, and she's like, this is all corn. And I was like, yeah. So she's like, get her off that shit right now. So we went back to the pet store and got her another brand of food that has absolutely no corn and no chicken, because her Corso was allergic to chicken or any chicken byproducts or chicken meal. And this morning when I was up and awake taking care of her, I was looking online and looking at forums for Corso owners, and a lot of them have allergies to any chicken byproducts, chicken meal, and stuff like that. So I know the vet didn't recommend it, but I don't know. After thinking about it, I'm like, you don't want me to give her sugar, but I'm treating a fungal infection that feeds off of sugar, and the majority of the filler in her current diet, even though the vet said, "Oh, that's the best thing you can feed them." Well, it's nothing but corn, and I was telling Jenny, I was like, on the it's weird, like on the food label, the nutrition label, it'll tell you how much protein and other stuff is in there. Um, but it doesn't, for some reason, it doesn't tell you the nutritional value of all the carbohydrates. Because corn is a simple carb, so it's not like, how can you claim it's 35% protein, and from where? It's like all the other stuff is just corn, so I know the vet said to wait until she clears this ear infection and then wait to see if it was the food. And I'm just no, I'm switching her now. So I started introducing the new food now. And it's the same thing with the new food. It has, the first ingredient is bison, then venison, then sweet potato, and then some other stuff, but there's absolutely no corn and no chicken in that diet. So when I brought it home, I just opened up a tiny little sliver of the bag and try to hand feed her some kibbles, and she really liked it. She didn't turn her nose up at it or nothing. So, but she's also very food motivated. So, um, I'm hoping she's not a picky eater. She doesn't seem to be. So we'll see, and keep her on that stuff till I can fully transition her. Work at a high pet end for years. They trained us on pet nutrition. Chicken and corn is highly allergic to many dogs. Yeah, and that's what's weird, because I told the vet what I had her on, which is Royal Canine. I have her on because that's what my cousin had her on, so I wasn't going to switch her. And I told her she's on Royal Canine giant puppy breed meal, and the vet was like, "Oh no, that's wonderful," and this, that, and the other thing. And so the vet's telling me it's great, but I'm watching my dog that has, a fungal infection in her ear, and the vet had asked if she had been itching anywhere else or licking her paws, and she hasn't been licking her paws, but she's been itching her chin, and I forgot to mention that to the vet. And I was talking to Jenny on the phone, and she's like, "Yeah, that's the yeast allergy." So, yeah, poor baby. So, yeah, and that's what my friend was saying, Marcia, that vets push certain products to sell in their offices, and I was just like, "Are you kidding me right now?" Like, it just seemed counterintuitive to treat an ear infection that's fungal, and you're telling me not to feed her anything that's high on carbohydrates, but her diet is like loaded with cornmeal and corn, every different type of corn you can think of, which is sugar, to then not have the ear infection, to then potentially wait for her to get another one, keep an eye out for another one, and then go back, do the same thing over again, and then try to see if it's the food. Like, I'm not going to put her through that, so I have her on, let me see, we got the, because my coworker and I, and she has a cornmeal. Let me see what brand it is. I think it's, let me see. Yeah, we got her a bag of Taste. I think the brand is Taste of the Wild, but there's no chicken at all, because my coworker's Corso is allergic to any chicken byproduct and corn. Um, and so it has no corn and no chicken byproducts, and it's the Taste of the Wild. So she ate the kibble right out of my hand. She didn't spit it out or nothing. So over the next 2 weeks, I'm going to slowly transition her off of the other stuff and see what happens. So yeah, you're going to have to send me a picture, T-Barb. Yeah. And that was the thing with Braxy is she still has a whole year and a half of growing. So she wants to, I mean, the vet said she's not overweight or anything, but just to be, as a precaution. So we're going to do that. And then she met when I went back to the grocery, to the pet store this evening and went to pick up the new food. She met a very, very handsome, very nice German Shepherd named Keanu, just like the actor Keanu Reeves. So he was very handsome, very nice, well-mannered. And so she had fun. And then everybody wanted to pet her. And so she's a bit of a showstopper. Like, I used to get asked questions a lot with the greyhounds when I had them out. Like, oh, is that a greyhound? Da, 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 da. But this dog is just like, it's probably because she's a little puppy too. So she's got the extra sweetness, but it's like everybody just wants to stop and talk to her and pet her. And there's it's like she got mobbed at Petco the second time I went today. Not that she cared. She was happy. She was happy to take all the attention, but it was like a mob of people just wanting to say hi and stop and talk to her and all sorts of fun stuff. So she's making a lot of friends. So yeah, but that's the Braxy update. And she's over there with her little Mr. Pickles from the super chats the other night and the donations that you guys sent to my PayPal and my Venmo. I got her a Mr. Pickle and a My Little Pony collar because that's the running joke because of Auntie Biscuits here. Jenny calls her My Little Pony. So I saw that and I was like, oh, I have to. So yeah. So that's the Braxy update. So you know what, Anne? Everybody seems to know what she is. Everybody, is that a Corso? Is that a Corso? I'm just like, where the hell have I been living? Because I had no idea about this breed at all. And like I said, when my cousin was like, please take one, I was like, nope. I don't think they're cute. They're huge. They're guard dogs. I don't want a puppy, this, that, and the other thing. And now I'm just like, I love my baby so much. So that's kind of funny. And I talked to my cousin too, and I asked him if her mom and her brother are showing any signs of itchiness or anything like that. And he's like, nope. So, I mean, and I was talking to Jenny, she's like, you can have a whole, she was a litter of 11. It was 11 puppies in her litter, and she could have been the one that ended up with allergies. There could have been a few others, but the mom and her brother, don't have any allergies. So we'll see. Okay, Marsha, I'll look into that. So yeah, but that's the update on little Braxy over there. And I might have to come off for a little bit because they have her on this ear medication and I have to put it in 40 minutes and put it in her ear and massage it and all that stuff and let her shake it out because it's every 12 hours for 2 weeks that I have to do that to her. So I just want her to feel better because that has to be so uncomfortable for her. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. Hopefully the new pet food will alleviate its food allergies. I'm just not willing to take that chance to keep feeding her something while we're trying to get rid of something else, So yeah. Anyways, this is 46's GT. Yeah, JC Rains. I'm not one to question, um, a professional or whatever, especially, veterinarian. I don't know anything about veterinarian science or anything like that. But yeah, no. I'm going against what I was advised, but I'm not chancing it with when it comes to her, you know. So so yeah, yes, Cat, that bastard on Game of Thrones, and then the dogs that he would feed people to, or people the dogs that yeah, the dogs that he would feed people to, and then what was her name? Was it Sansa? Sansa at the end fed him to his dogs. Yeah, those are the Corsos, which I didn't even know until after I got her. I was like, oh, really? Yeah. So, anyways, this is 46's Sansa. Yeah, I couldn't remember her name. Arya, I know like the back of my hand because she was one of my favorite characters. Sansa just kind of grinded my gears a few times, but it was really cool seeing her entire character arc from being the naive, I just want to be a princess kind of girl to just this hardened, just badass. That was a cool arc for her. But so, yep, she fed that bastard to his own dogs. Good on her. Call of the Wild is a really, and see, JC Rains, that's what I don't understand. I was talking to Jenny and I said, I just paid $109 for a bag of basically corn to feed to my dog to give her an infection. You know what I mean? And the Call of the Wild, um, it was only $60 for the same amount. I'm like, and how is Royal Canine selling a bag of food for $109 when it's mostly corn, you know? And also with the chicken, it's like even chicken that we eat from, unless you're buying completely organic, free range, all that other stuff, they're pumped full of freaking antibiotics and growth hormones. And because a chicken today that is in the food industry for production is not the size of a normal chicken. It's like super chicken. It's like 3 or 4 times the size of what a chicken should be because they're bulking them up to get more out of them. And then in the conditions that they're living in, they have to be pumped full of antibiotics and all this other stuff because of contamination between each other. And it's just like, and you're using that to put it in dog food, So yeah, stay away from that shit. Because bison, are those? Do they have like farms for bison, like they do for like cows? And do you understand what I'm saying? Like production sort of stuff. Hey, CG, how are you? They have bison farms, or bisons are free range. No, it's not grain free. It has grains, but it doesn't have any corn, is what I'm trying, or chicken. You got a super chicken next door? Okay, so they're free range. So it's not like they have like 8 million chickens shoved into a tiny little, you know, one of those warehouse looking things where they're all living on top of each other and half of them don't have feathers anywhere before they go to slaughter. So I'm just trying to stay away from chicken and corn. So, because I was telling Jenny I had a Dalmatian years and years and years ago, like 20 years ago, that she was prone to ear infections all the time. And 20 years ago, veterinary medicine, it wasn't as advanced as it is today, as crazy as that sounds, but it was just chronic ear infections until finally we switched her off the food. And as soon as we got her off corn or anything with cornmeal or any sort of corn byproduct, the allergies went away, so I'm just not chancing it. They're kept out in pastures. Yeah. So it's not like, so. No, it's not good for humans either. It's like I have corn maybe twice a year during like Thanksgiving, and maybe if it's maybe hardly ever for Christmas, Yeah, GMO. Yeah, exactly. So anyways, back to this. Let me focus on this because I'll sit here and talk to you all about my little kid over there all day. Okay, so this is JB's GT. In this tableau, he's got the tree in its own house, the clouds in its own house, the child in its own house. Okay. He is landing on the house of Fox. Him and his work. And also, yeah, him and his work. So I don't like this at all because this is sitting real close to him, the tree. And it's sitting very, very close to the child in its own house. Usually when the tree appears this close, it's kind of like a warning about health related issues, illnesses. But it's touching this child too. And because these three are in their own houses, I'm almost, okay, let me see here. I'm almost leaning more towards the child because it directly crowns the child where it's kind of hitting on his diagonal. Okay. This could be talking about an illness with a child. Now, the child knights over here to the crossroads, which is sitting in house snake. Child in crossroads, 2 children, double or multiples. Okay, 2 children, health issues. The tree is catty cornering here to the stars in the house of birds. The tree knights here to the tower. We're looking at a hospital. This would be like an ambulance. Okay. Now, these two together, even though it's at a diagonal but it's touching this kid right here. This is kind of like a health issue that spreads and metastasizes. But there's 2 kids. So I don't know. Let me see what you guys are saying. I'm leaning more towards a child with health issues just because it's sitting directly over the child's head. but there's 2 children. One very clearly something that spreads and metastasizes. The other one, let me see. Okay, so he knights here to the bear. So father of a child suffers. He suffers, and then addiction. So there's a child that suffers from addiction and one that has a health issue that spreads and metastasizes. I do not see a relapse because there's healing this way. For the question of the day, articles of impeachment, I don't see it. Scythe is way over here. Letter is way over there. Letter is in the house of dog. Scythe is in the house of, what do you call this? The scythe. Or scythe is in the house of bear. Okay. So it could be trying to remove him from power and taking it away. Here's Biden cutting him off from power. Scythe in the house of bear. So cutting off his power and taking it away here. Mice in the house of stars, taking away his success. Okay. Clouding him to where he's out of opportunities. This is his current line. The what do you call this? The clouds is right over his head. I don't like that. Because it's covering him. It's covering here. It's covering the clouds is kind of affecting all these cards around him, even all the way to here. These 2 cards together, the stars and the clouds, this is about sorrow, or not sorrow, but a series of really unfortunate events. Let me see here. There is... Let me see here. So here, but it's like he overcomes it, but there's still like this dark cloud over his head. A series of unfortunate events in his life of the children. And the dog is sitting in the house of woman, a dear friend, a loyal friend that was a woman. Go back to the woman in the house of Rider, Rider in the house of Clover. This woman was visiting, traveling on vacation or in a car right here. Woman visiting. There's, what do you call this? Not creativity, but like, not sleeping either. It's like she's driving because she's sitting in an action house. This is an action house. This is action. It's like she's driving or in a vehicle. She's going somewhere. She's visiting. And something about her health as well. This could be a... Nope. It's like this right here, the stars to the clouds, a series of unfortunate events around children. Oh, Braxy's asleep. And because the stars is sitting in the house of birds, the birds is phone calls, communications, negotiations, meetings, but it's also an older couple. Yes, this is a medical vehicle, Johnny. That's a medical vehicle. I'm trying to piece this together because there's sorrow here or a child or two children because a child night's here to the crossroads, two children, sorrow around two children and an older couple. And then he suffered a loss here. See? Him loss here. So everything before this got lost, taken away very suddenly. The scythe is the card of accidents, ruptures, surgeries. So I don't know if he had a child that was in an accident, a child that had a surgery. This would be like some sort of a surgery for something that was metastasizing, an older couple that had to do with the child but it's like an accident. Everything before this got taken away quickly and suddenly. His ex-wife died in a car accident. First wife and son was tickets. Are you kidding me right now? Wait, how many kids does he have? How many? Because I know about the one that's all over the news right now because I mean they put naked pictures of him on the freaking house floor. He had 4 kids. How many kids does he have now? Wait. Okay, so there's the health issue that spreads and metastasizes. This is a surgery or some sort of an accident. This is a medical vehicle. Holy fuck. So how many kids did he have total? Does he have total? He had 2 daughters and 2 sons. He lost 2 kids, Beau of cancer and one in a car accident. I'm not sure, Johnny, but it's over his head and there's a child with a health issue here. And this talks about a series of unfortunate events and a lot of he suffers from a lot of sorrow. The cross sits on him. It's sitting on him. So that's probably the dark cloud that it's the grief right here. Am I making sense? First wife and daughter died in a car accident. He remarried Jill, who helped him raise Beau and Hunter. Beau died of cancer. Okay. But he suffers from it. The cross is on the house of man. He carries that on his shoulders. It's like a dark cloud. The health and the life of his children is like there's sorrow here. If that makes any sense. And that's not because the cross is still within reach. It's still close on the diagonal. And here is losses here. It's still within reach. And then here is the mourning of a friend that passes. Okay, so why is that? So because the tree is over him, okay, and it's knighting here, there might be some procedure or perhaps vaccines that are required. It could be for something pulmonary. This is also surgeries, but his health overall here shows that it's very stable. It's solid, if that makes sense. The child, it's sitting in its own house, and the tree is in its own house, and the clouds there. Okay, so his health improves. He might be working with a doctor or some sort of a counselor here. He has a very close friend that is a woman. Storks in the house, and he's able to overcome whatever difficulties are there. His health, see, that's the thing. This person here, if this is in regards to the person that they're defaming right now, okay? I don't see him relapsing because addictions is way down here on the House of Cross. For the line of fate, which is the final word of the grand tableau, sometimes it reiterates the question or why the person is there. It's the house in the house of key, the ring in the house of fish, the book in the house of anchor, and the whip in the house of cross. So read simply, it means that there is a promise within the family to keep certain things secret because this sits in the house of cross, because of a family secret, perhaps of someone suffering from an addiction. Okay, but this is stuff that they would like to keep private. So, and we all know that they're just putting what's his face all over everything based on conspiracies to target him to hurt Biden. So it's family committed. The family is committed to this secret because of an addiction. Okay. So that's the last word on his tableau. So it's like they're using Hunter to go after him. You see how close these two are? This shows me that these two have a very close relationship, very, very close. And the child is knighting down here to the cross, and the cross sits back on the man. So it's like they're using the child to make him suffer. Or they're using the child to make him suffer, but they're hurting his child hurts him. Not like in the polls or anything like that, but it's just, it hurts him because of how close these two are. And if you look at the near and far in a grand tableau, they're right next to each other. Does that make sense? If this is the current wife, see how they're not close here? There's some problems right here. She might be, if this is in regards to the wife, the ring is over here, the anchor is over here, and the heart is over here. These are good. This shows that long-term relationship this way. She might be traveling or visiting certain areas, not necessarily campaigning. Even though here it shows that she's campaigning and being very successful with something that she's committed to and doing. You see, this is in the house of storks. This is in the house. This is in the house of bouquet. This is in the house of storks, and this is in the house of ring. She might be coming around 1, 2, 3 in 3 months, start a campaign for something that she's very passionate and committed to that has to do with let me see, garden in the house of bouquet. It could be like the public arts or public arts. Not so much public schools because the book is down here. That's over there. What else? What's another word for sorry, my brain is dumb because I've been up since 3:30 this morning. Not social studies, but like kind of like public arts or arts for community, for the community, that sort of thing. Um to help elevate and make things more positive. She's very liberal arts. There you go. The liberal arts. Thank you, Lynn. So she might start a campaign in something with liberal arts or that it helps the liberal arts in some way. It could be not necessarily theater, but that sort of a thing. So perhaps, you know how first ladies always get the little Melania's was the campaign. What was it? Be Best campaign that was just shit because she was married to the biggest bully of all. What is Jill? What is Jill's? What is her first lady thing? Jill is helping kids. Wondering if she's going to do it through some sort of arts program or something that has to do with the arts. Education. She's doing education. What type of teacher was she? Tower is in the House of Whip. And the book is all the way in the House of Anchor. She's a college professor. Hey, Terry, what's up? But what is her, you know how first ladies always have those little things that they do? Hers is in education. The campaigns that first ladies do. The causes, there you go. Thank you, Laura. Well, if anybody knows, please let me know. Okay. So right now on his current line, there's some trouble here over his head. About the end of opportunities or opportunities coming to an end, or he's being left without or not wanting to take a risk. That is in the House of Lilies. Let me see. Helping military families. Okay. I don't see that here. I do not see that here. Actually, it's over here. This would be like military, veterans, and then families here. Publicly recognized in her career and within the institution, passionate about veterans, military, families. But that shows up 3 columns ahead of her. So that's around May. But this is showing like there's something that she's doing with a society or within a campaign, perhaps liberal arts, campaigning, because this is sitting in the house of bouquets. So it could be like where you have a huge audience where people give gifts to improve your campaign this way. She's very successful at it. And there's also something about the sun is sitting in the house of storks. The storks is pregnancies and changes. So there might be also a huge campaign around positive changes and optimism around pregnancies. That is something that's very important for relationships and something that she's really committed to. Let me see. Maybe they will join forces again next year in a few months. Yeah, because this is for 1, 2, 3 months ahead and then 5 months ahead here. So let me see. What is Biden's line? It's almost like he's confused and not seeing the opportunities or not seeing why someone is taking a chance and risking it. He's not sure he wants to take a chance and risk something. Clover in the house of gardens. He's confused about here, the clover in the house of gardens, the opportunity to vote, his opportunities for his choices or his options. And it's also about winning elections. But here it's taken away. In secret. See what I'm saying? I'm not saying that, that's currently happening. It's just he's uncertain about it. Because here, if you look at above him, I know that elections, this is the column for January. Does anybody start voting in January? Is anybody voting in January? Women's health issues? Okay. Yeah, like primaries or anything like that, because the GOP when the hell is the primaries begin in March? So you thought. Yeah, but is anybody voting in January though? I thought they started voting in March. That's why they wanted to get the ruling from the Supreme Court. Iowa caucuses in Iowa in January, Jolly? Because if this is the elections, they're trying to cut power here, cut his power from persistent fraud and manipulation and abuse that they're trying to hit him with and make him suffer from. Does that make sense? But it's all a manipulation. To the fox is sitting in the house of sun. So it's like a smear. Where is the whip is sitting in the house of cross is sitting in the house of man. It's in retaliation. But it gets argued. If that makes sense. Also, the birds, if I look at the crossroads and I box this in, the birds is sitting in the house of, what house is this? The heart. which is desire. It's passion. It's generosity. All this could just be a bunch of people just talking. Yap, 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 yap. Iowa, January 15th, GOP primaries. Oh, so they primary the GOPs. Okay. But there's talk here of if this is the election, he's removed from it. This sits in the House of Scythe. To achieve, taking it away from him, it sits in the House of Mice. And then fraud here. Manipulation of his success in retaliation to make him suffer. And then here you see, if this is the election, they're trying to block it here, trying to take it away here. Again, it's all gossip. People just running their mouths passionately to manipulate and paint him in a bad light and make him suffer. Also, if this is the polls, okay, the clover is sitting in the house of crossroads. Okay, so that tells me the polls are good and they are in his favor. Okay, if you look at the crossroads here, the crossroads is sitting in the house of snake. The polls are a lie. There's something wrong with them. Up here, confusion. Here, blocked. So the polls are showing him in a negative light. Follow this line down. Manipulation. For what? Talk. Chitter chatter. Okay. Is that making sense? Is there anybody picking up what I'm putting down? So those are the GOP primaries though, right, Terry? I think that's what Jenny, Auntie Biscuits, also known as Jenny, was saying. But it's not in regards to him, and it's not in regards to the... And if we're looking... Let me see. See, that's what I'm talking about, Feisty. I don't know if you were here earlier. I don't see impeachment because this is so far away from each other. And then you go this way. Whatever reports or whatever come out of this committee, if this is a committee, that's bullshit. The man is sitting in the House of Fox. Manipulation, conning him. Okay. Conning his success to take away his power here. The scythe in the house of bear, followed by the mice in the house of stars, to take away his power, eat away at it. Confuse people with polling that is incorrect. It's wrong. It's a lie. It's sitting in the house of snake to block him here. Okay. So the only way to get these two to talk, I have to go to the letter, the snake, the scythe, and the anchor. Well, whatever comes out of this report is a lie. It's fixed. And then it gets cut off here and it's achieved. If if they do write up articles of impeachment, I don't see it getting anywhere, and I don't see him being impeached. This looks more like a campaign to smear his success. Follow this line across. So this is December, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August. So around August, there was a campaign to lie. This campaign or this committee is lying, abusing government or legal arguments in court. Okay. There's the star witness, or the person that they're trying to pin is a child, him to remove and take out of power. So you might see something here where they start to ramp up the smears, what did I say? This was August. Let me see, December, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September. This is September. October, November. By October, no, it's all gossip. Really, really, really good results. A lot of success with the ballots. People are very happy and love the executive here. The executive, the bear is in the House of Garden. A powerful executive that oversees a large population of people. Power rises, and he sticks the win. And there's a chitter chatter again. Do you see what I'm saying? So, and then when you look at the bird, the fox, and then I don't know, you can't see this. The book, it's all hitting the diagonal. There's a lot of meetings going on how they're going to manipulate this to shave away his success. And those meetings and phone calls and conversations are being had in private. What sits below the fox is the whip, abuse. And then the whip sits on top of the cross, which we talked about earlier, suffering from addiction. And also the whip and cross is kind of like, how do I say this? Chronic pain. So this could be like chronically, like chronically beating him. No, I'm not talking physically, but just taking him and just beating the crap out of him. And his son, he suffers. Do you see what I'm saying? So he doesn't personally suffer from the attacks on his child, who suffers from addiction and other family issues that they have. His reputation does well. It withstands that. He suffers because he's the father. And again, how close they are. Am I making sense? You see. By February, also, hold on. There's still something going on here outside of the elections that have to do, if this is choices and options here, this is also a vote. Okay, this vote is problematic. So he's looking at options on how to bypass something because he's cut off. It's all an underhanded maneuver to make him suffer. And the reason I say that is because if I'm following this line back this way, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that sits in the house of house. Here's the bear. The dog is down here. Hold on. It's almost like resources to an ally. That vote is blocked right now. It's poison. This sits in the house of snake. It's blocked. He's looking for options around this. The scythe is sitting in the house of bear. Okay. As a symbol, the bear and the scythe, put that together as a symbol, you get Russia. Okay. So I'm wondering if this is looking for alternatives for aid to an ally in the Ukraine that's blocked. It's still showing that it's blocked here because the scythe is sitting in the house of bear, Russia. The scythe and the bear, two symbols for Russia, Mother Russia, and then the scythe and the old thingamajig. Okay. There's finances that were cut off here and taken away. So I'm wondering if they're looking for ways, that could be also what he's confused about, how to help win this situation with our allies abroad to get them the resources that they need. And there you go. Scythe, taken away. Bear, resources. It was taken away here. It was cut off from Russia and it's taken away here. So perhaps right now that's a problem. And he's still looking into how to get, because there's a vote that's problematic. It's poison. And it's not, and it's only, it's being done again to manipulate his success and use and have something to criticize him for, to make him suffer. This is in the house of what is it? Cross. Manipulate, criticize, and suffer. Are you making sense? So he's looking for options there. It looks by February, they're able to hold some meetings and negotiate to where it comes out well. So there's the block and the delay. There's the stuff that they took away. Again, another manipulation by opponents to make him suffer. Meetings and negotiations. And then there's the gifts, the aid. Okay. But it comes from the Scythe in the House of Bear, Russia. Okay. So there's that. That looks like it could be close to resolution in about 2 months' time. So around February, perhaps. Let me see what else. And then we talked about this woman that could be campaigning. She's also very popular. This woman here, very popular. Let me see. There is some news coming in that is a lie about business records. Again, coming from a campaign that's lying and abusing him legally. They're abusing their power. And it has to do with news about a financial institution for a friend or an aide or someone that's coming forward. Around April. Now, also, this is sitting in the House of Scythe. A lot of vindictiveness. The snake is very vindictive. A lot of vindictiveness around cutting him off. Letter is in the House of Dog. And fish is in the House of Book. So it's almost like news that is a lie, okay, about records or mail in a business that has been uncovered. Look at what we found. All these secret business records. Follow this line here. And it's a business record to make him suffer and here to make him end and suffer here. A manipulation again. But it clears over here with the bouquet in the House of Moon. Let me see what else. Let me see. There's going to be a lot of, this could be a lot of media that's going on with members of the House and the conservatives in the House. This is sitting in House letter. Conservatives in the House. Okay, that's one way to interpret that. It's like this isn't pointing to a circus. It's pointing more towards because this would be like the opposition party, because it's a garden full of snakes that's abusing the government. If you follow it this way, because this party here is full of troublemakers. If you follow it this way, there's a lot of recognition and success around a government institution. So let me see. It could be DOJ. Let me see. Hold on. It could be a court too. These two are a court. Hold on. Let me see. This is in May. It's in May. Huh. She's sleeping, you guys. Oh, you can't see. You see her? She's twitching. She's twitching. Oh. Let me see. Oh, thank you, Anita. Chasing or chasing other My Little Ponies. She's climbing stairs. She's practicing in her sleep. Let me see. There's something that is recognized in the courts or another sort of bureaucracy that is very satisfactory to him and to members of his family, also members of his administration. Because there's a legal dispute here. And it's a legal dispute that has to do with authority and power over the public. Also, public resources. Right here in this column, there's financing that's going to have to be negotiated and agreed to for rockets and missiles and bombs and that sort of stuff that goes kaboom boom. Right here. So that's June. He's going to have to make some sacrifices, but it gets resolved. It gets resolved. He achieves success with that one. There's some things that are going to be taken away from that bill. This is a bill because it goes this way. Let me see. There's also, let me see. So going back to him, and then the health of a child improves significantly. If I box him in, let me see. So again, with the health issue here, it can be growing concern and uncertainty around the health of a child because of the amount of stress. here. Mice in the house of, what do you call this? Stars. And the stars is sitting right before the child in the house of birds. Birds is also, it carries a lot of nervousness. These two right here is a lot of nervousness. This is anxiety. This is nerves. So he's under a lot of pressure, a lot of anxiety and nerves, but you know, it's resolved there. But this is looking more like something that he's trying to find a way around, that they're negotiating to achieve some sort of aid. Okay. But if I box him in here, one way to simply read this across is that there is growing concern or doubt around the elections because of a lie, multiple lies, more than one lie, a shit ton of lies, a fucking mountain full of lies. Okay. Tree in the house of tree, clouds in the house of house, huge, big trouble. And then the crossroads in the house of snake, lies about the election. And then him and his child trying to cut him off from power. He didn't lose the election, even though he did. Here, crossroads, bouquet in the house of crossroads. It's the storks is about improvement. It's about changes, pregnancies, moves. But the storks are migratory birds, so they leave and return. But this says here that he keeps achieving, even though some wins are small. It's it might not be huge wins, but like all this uncertainty here. Well, the record speaks for itself right here. Successful record. A very passionate executive that achieves what he puts out to do. He improves and makes small gains and achieves them. They're going to have to start campaigning and going to have to start talking about that, because this right here is just a smear campaign. And if you follow it this way, all the way from right here, the aid, financial aid to a friend that's suffering, an ally that suffers here, military, there's important money. There's military suffering, friend loses. See what I'm saying? So, and it's all a manipulation to hurt and punish him. So, also, the child is sitting in his own house. Where is the house? The house is all the way on house key. Key in the house of ring. Key in the house of ring. Ring in the house of fish. There's also this person here. If I don't read that as his wife, it could be a person that's making the rounds, going to the media, visiting the media. Let me see. Woman to tower. Okay. If I follow this line down here and this line down here, the party that he's affiliated to, there's a woman here that could be going out and being more public to elevate his successes and let people know what he's committed to. So I don't know who that would be. But if you follow this line here, important. Okay. What did you say? The importance of how the majority conservatives are making us suffer. And it's not in good faith. Here. And our allies abroad, because it goes back to her, she's delivering this message that our allies abroad And what the Republicans are doing, the party that currently has the majority, the abundance in the House that is conservative, is causing allies to suffer. Okay? Out of manipulation to get what they want. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? So it's almost like from position, if I don't read this as Jill Biden, and traditionally it's supposed to represent the spouse, okay? But because these things are so multifaceted, kind of like what we saw as an example, as a brief example of the grand tableau in Donald Trump's that we did a couple of days ago, that it showed the woman talking, and I was talking about because of his opponent, Spanky's opponent, that they're trying to smear here, that this person is out campaigning, speaking to the public about public health, trying to grow popularity, all that other stuff, but she's on a lot of travel. Another example of that, how it applies to, what do you call it? The opponent's friend, Kamala Harris, and then there's Biden there. It also applies to the situation that we saw with Rana McDaniel. She was friendly, loyal. She was on the phone, woman in the House of Birds, to grow popularity, tree in the house of garden, to gift Spanky bouquet in the house of man, the transition of the many, the majority, ship in the house of fish. So see what I'm saying? So it's like, it's almost multifaceted to where there's just, I can't pick a lane, so I try to read everything. Let me see, because I try to be extra, like Johnny would say. Hold on here. If this is Kaboom Booms, the resources for that against the opponent that's a bully, that's represented by a bear, they suffer. I mean, there's going to have to be sacrifices made in that agreement, but they suffer. Where is... There's the other small ally, because there's two here, two that are small, or more than one that are small, doubles, multiples that are small allies. The Kaboom Booms for one, and the other one that could have a star. And then there's one, I think we talked about this before, a star. And then because this is like the, what is this, Department of the Navy sort of colors, blue and yellow. Let me see here. There's also some very important paperwork or something that's being brought, that's a bureaucracy type legal paperwork that could deal with the Department of Transportation, the Department of the Navy, but this is travel, Department of Travel. So it could be Department of Transportation, literally the Department of the Navy. Also, these are senior people here in this department, military and defense awards recognition here, which they've already succeeded over that POS in the what do you call it, in the Senate. And that's another thing that this person, when she's traveling to market, to bring to market, to boost up his record about the successes that they've had. The opposition comes from the party that has the most right now, that is conservatives, that are making our allies suffer, making our military suffer. So when what's his face didn't what do you call this, confirm any of those high level military people, well, you put our national defense at risk. It's all. So I think she's going to go hard on that when she travels to campaign here successfully. Let me see. It's almost like when she delivers that message about their successes that they've had when she starts campaigning, the obstacles that she is going to highlight and the problems that we're seeing now, the confusion around the elections and it was stolen and block this and block that and make up lies and doubt and all this other stuff. I think she's going to do a really good job of pointing out what it is and gaining points for him, because you can see here the woman and the problems. Well, the problems come to an end. Mountain in the house of coffin. And then there's the reward. This is sitting in the house of moon. Fame. And then ring, key in the house of ring. It's something that this administration and the White House, because sitting in house here, is committed to, if that makes sense. So when she goes out to speak, she'll let them know that the problems that we're facing, where they're coming from, it's coming from here. Opposition, uncertainty, and blockages from the opposing party. As a political campaign here to block and thwart success, this right here is the worst card. I'm sure you guys that have been with me get sick and tired of me hearing it. In the whole Lenny's, the clouds, the worst card. It's the King of Clubs. This card is worse than the coffin. Okay. You see where it sits over his head. Confusion, lying about the election, delaying the transfer. This is the King of Clubs. This could quite possibly be, if I look at the pip card, Spanky McSpankerton. Doesn't matter though. If this is him, he's transient. Transient. If that makes sense. And then this way, cut off from power. If I read this by the pip, cut off from power here, running his mouth. Running his mouth. And he continues to be a thorn in everybody's side. But eventually that problem goes away. So if this is Spanky McSpankerton, if you follow it down this way, comes to an end this way on the corners, nope, don't do shit. Even though he hangs over his head. It's like, how can I say this? I'm trying to find the words. I didn't see Spanky and the Slammer in his grand tableau. I did not see that in his grand tableau. It doesn't mean that it's not there. But the tower is sitting over his head, but the cross is too far away. And the ring is too far away for that to be like being committed to being isolated. What it shows is that he's on his way to fuck off town right here. But I don't see imprisonment. I see like more convictions and more indictments, but I don't see prison. And huge financial penalties. I think we talked about that too. Let me see. I'm trying to find the words for this, and I'm sorry because my brain is like really slow right now. It's not that Spanky has power over him, is that he's just a dark cloud that won't go away, you know? And if this is Spanky up here, that's the elections. Guess what? You're blocked, mofo. You are blocked. And we talked about that already, the retaliation to try to keep him off the ballot. See Biden here. Those are the ballots cutting him off. No, he stays. He stays right here. And he returns and there's a win, if that makes sense. Because here, success for the executive returning and achieving that success. If that makes sense. It just sucks that they're going to... It just sucks that they're resorting to what they're resorting to hurt him politically. They're putting his son and his family and everybody else, you know, well, mostly his son, on the whipping post, if that makes sense. Are you serious, Terry? He fucking said that? He said that? He said that. Jenny and I were talking about that, Terry, about how everybody's talking about how he smells bad. Jenny and I were talking about that today on the phone. I mean, okay. I know we're petty, and if you have sensitive ears, cover your ears because I'm about to drop some F-bombs, but this motherfucker sits in dirty diapers all day, every day, because he's too fucking lazy to go take his fat orange fucking ass into the goddamn bathroom and wipe a week's worth of shit off of himself. So yeah, of course he fucking stinks. You know, like, I mean, Jesus Christ. Yeah, Trump smells is trending #1 on Twitter. You know, it's like, it's just, God, like, I mean, you don't have to. And you know what makes no fucking sense to me either? For a raging narcissist who spends 3 hours on his goddamn bronzer, you would think you would have the fucking sense to wipe your own dirty ass, you know, like, or at least spray at least a gallon of freaking Febreze on you so that you're not, you know, fumigating the entire freaking room you're in the smell of your sharts, you know? Oh, God. Disgusting. I mean, he just looks smelly, dude. Anybody that spends that much time on their damn makeup and then goes and picks a dead possum off the street to glue it to his head and has the accordion hands like this, I mean, come on. He probably smells worse than a porta potty, dude. I mean, I'm not kidding you. No wonder Melania never wants to be around him. You stink. His Depends. No, Jenny, I'm telling you, that son of a bitch probably sat in his own shit for like the whole day. The whole day. Oh my God, Shelby. When he starts selling off his suit, I wonder how many people are going to get a piece of what it smells like. Looms for his ass. Jenny, I don't think looms would work. Maybe that's what he was talking about, bleach. Got to bleach his own ass. Ugh. I just can't wrap my head around it. Wiping your ass is being too woke. Yeah, CG, that's what it is. That's what it is. So watch that be the new conservative thing. They're going to start boycotting wiping their asses to stand in solidarity with Donald Trump. Watch that. I'm going to start getting that trending on Twitter just to troll these stupid motherfuckers, dude. That is going to be hilarious. That's gonna be hilarious. Ugh. I mean, how tacky is that, dude? Like, you spend hours upon hours on your makeup, your hair, you know, you remember when they shoved him into that tuxedo when he went abroad to go visit the queen? You know, and he looked like they were trying to stuff a freaking sausage into a penguin suit, like, and so you go through all that trouble to look a certain way and you just somehow forget to take care of your body odor, like, that's some trailer park trash shit right there. I mean, uh-uh, uh-uh. Yeah, that's why she's always smacking his hand, CG. She doesn't want the stank to rub off on her. Yeah, the queen was, like, way away from him, Mary, way away from him. I'm wondering if it was because he smelled or because he was just such a rude son of a bitch that he just disregarded her. Ugh, no. You wanna know what Trump smells like? Next time there's, like, a huge, like, music festival, like a Coachella or something, go stand in one of those porta potties. That's probably what he smells like. Uh-uh. Ugh. No. No. Mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm. That's just so wrong, dude. Porta potty dictator Jenny. That's gonna be his freaking new name. Porta potty dictator. There we go. I'm starting that trending too. Ugh. Ugh. No, he's just nasty. Terry, a whole bunch of them. A whole bunch of them. That's what's sad. His own staff complained he smells like body odor. So wait, so he also wasn't in the habit of wearing any deodorant? So you're gonna spend all that time on your hair and makeup and you're not gonna put on any deodorant? Oh my god, PBJ, are you serious? PBJ is saying that at the state dinner he hosted for the president of China, apparently one of the female guests seated next to him at their dinner said he stunk, and that was back in 2018. Ugh. I'm gonna get that started on Twitter that MAGA should stop wiping their asses in solidarity for people picking on Donald Trump. No, exactly, Jenny. He can't smell himself with all the Adderall up his nose. Ugh. Uh-uh. Uh-uh. God, he's nasty. He's so nasty. Maybe that's what he'll do. Maybe that'll be his next grift, Jenny. He's gonna sell perfume that smells like him so that I don't stink. This is what I wear all the time. And it's probably just a bottle of toilet water that he's selling these idiots for $500 for like 0.2 ounces. Mm-mm. Oh my god. Dude, that's almost as bad as like when Rudy Giuliani farted on his lawyer and gave her COVID. Remember that when he sharted during that hearing on that one lawyer and then she got COVID? That's almost as bad. Oh, are you serious? He already tried selling cologne at Macy's? Well, now that he has such a large crowd of morons, you know, maybe he can try a relaunch, you know? Another thing about that this woman can be coming out to campaign for in regards to the successes and achievements of the administration is where's the fish? And then the garden. So this would be like public businesses. So perhaps the economy, because this is the market and stocks. This is also the market and stocks. Um, Another thing that she could be talking about in regards to achievements is what they came into once they took office post the pandemic. Here's something from abroad: health issue, pulmonary, airborne, that caused multiple things, delays. So, delays in transportation, delays or blockages um, in regards to like businesses. Um, and how, even though everybody was talking about gossiping here again, how people were gossiping about recession, recession, recession. Well, we didn't hit a recession, you know? So it's like she's going out to campaign on these successes and putting the fame on the achievements. And she's going to do really, really well on that here because she's campaigning on the improvements and successes that they've been able to achieve. What did Colin say? Icky 45 by Trump sold in porta potties near you. Colin, CG, what the fuck? Well, now we're calling him porta potty. So, wait, what was Auntie Biscuits? What were we calling him? Porta potty? What? I forgot. Porta potty dictator. There you go. Thank you, CG. Porta potty dictator. Yep, yep. So yeah, I don't see impeachment because of this. It's too far away. It's a campaign to smear and lie and legally abuse in the House of whip in the House of whip in the House of, what is this? Cross in the House of Man. A campaign to lie, legally abuse this man via the child to take away and cut away his power. That's all it is. It's just a campaign of lies. And Jenny and I were the SCOTUS, no. Mm-mm. There is there could be, if this is a court, there could be some sort of expansion. So this could be like him appointing more judges to courts, but not, I don't know about the SCOTUS. Because yeah, this is close, but this would be like the higher court, so I would need to knight it. Where's the 9? No. Mm-mm. I don't see it because the 9 is way over here. And then Lily's is in the House of Letter. This is a historical document, a wise document. So we could be talking about the Constitution of the United States of America that all these conservatives seem to flout, but never read it. Ew, that toilet. Wait, no, Jenny, it needs to be ew of the toilet, ick 45, toilet water. I don't know why in my head I think eau de toilette is toilet water. Like in my stupid Cuban brain, that's how I see it. Toilet water. Ew, ew the toilet, porta potty dictator 45. There you go. We got his whole cologne line. right there in one night of doing a grand tableau. You guys are great. You guys are great. June 14th. With a mugshot on the bottle. Yep, there you go. And don't forget the NFTs, Jenny, and a piece of his dirty diaper suit. For the bargain price of $11,780, just like the votes he needed from Georgia. But if you call now, you'll get a special price. Yeah, the toilet water that wouldn't, because you keep flushing and nobody knows why. Nobody knows why the toilets don't flush. Yeah, it's because you were shoving all the fucking classified material down it. Dude, I bet you he was shoving dirty diapers down the toilets too. How much you want to bet? How much you want to bet? How much you want to bet? Shelby, he would, because that son of a bitch has no shame. No shame. A grift is a grift is a grift, girlfriend. Jen, I'm telling you, he was probably shoving the diapers down the toilet along with the classified documents that he ate and the ones he was shoving down the toilet as well. Because you keep flushing the water and the toilets don't flush. Nobody can figure it out why the toilets don't flush. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God, that's really true, Mary. Wait, was Walt Nauta ever at the White House? Well, maybe that's why people said he stank, because he just sat there and kept pissing and shitting his pants. And because he's above that and he didn't have somebody there to change him for him, and powder his bum and all that stuff, maybe he just sat in it all day and that's why he smelled so bad. Ew, the toilet Trump collected many bottles of his own body waste. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Lynn. When he was complaining about the White House plumbing, and then we found out that it was because he was shoving classified documents in the freaking toilet, and then we found out he was eating classified documents. Like, dear God. Oh my God. What a freaking maroon. Okay, so what's interesting, and I just noticed. No, I don't even. I feel bad for whatever nurse that is, Sweet Pea. Mm-mm. 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 You know what? All these MAGAs that love him so much, I bet you they would sign up to go clean his dirty ass diapers. There's nothing wrong with him. He's the most stable genius ever. Oh, so here's something interesting, and I just found this. I just looked at it. Book is in the house of. I'm going to follow that chain. Book is in the house of Anchor, which goes to the mice. Oh, look at that. Which goes to the stars and the birds. And then, where's the birdie birds? And to the heart, tower, whip, cross, man, fox, sun, what is this? Storks, mountain, coffin, lilies, letter, dog. Damn, this is a long chain. Woman, writer, clover, crossroads, sick, scythe, bear, garden, bouquet, moon, ship, house, key, ring. And then where's 25? Ring. Okay. To fish to 34. Fish. And then back to the book. So I was following the book around because we were talking about the little book earlier. We were talking about how the family's committed to keeping their stuff private and they're just using it to criticize and abuse him, to make him suffer for a family member, secret addictions. This is also the card of sex. So, secret addictions to name it, drugs, alcohol, sex, okay, that he suffers from. Well, the book is also quite literally a book. Kind of like those secrets in that binder that kind of went missing. So here's the book. It goes to the anchor. And then the anchor goes to the mice. Oh, look at that. The book that got stolen or missing, or the classified information that got stolen or missing. Widespread, just dispersed, vastly, talked about. Okay. About our government secrets and projects that the government is working on and how that really hurts the government and institutions and our allies. How it's hurting Joe Biden right now, trying to mend those relationships because of the sensitivity of some of that some of that material. Let me see, where am I? Where am I in this line? And how it's making it more difficult for the country as a whole to overcome obstacles because there's really important stuff that kind of got stolen and oops, it's missing. We don't know where the hell it's at. We had to go knock on somebody's door and recover it, and we're still missing stuff. Let me see, that woman is going to campaign on that. She's going to deliver the message on that. And she's going to use that as a winning talking point to win the elections here and point out the lies and the trouble and the smears to attack Biden, to take away his power by a campaign. Let me see. No. To take away his power, but she successfully campaigns because it goes garden, bouquet, to the moon, to the ship, to the house. So she's able to convey that message and deliver a lot of criticism, like an abundance of criticism to the opposition, to the people that are enabling. What? Hold on. So there's a lot that this woman that's campaigning, but this is one of the big ones. Also, book to anchor to mice, secrets that are important and very that they need to stay closed. Well, oops, somebody stole them. Also, if this is the opponent, if this is the orange mango, the big troublemaker, this is the biggest troublemaker in the entire deck. For the elections, it's like he's blocked here. If this is troublemaker, the election's blocked, he's taken off, and there's a loss here. Try to steal it. See what I'm saying? So in Trump's tableau from 2 days ago, I didn't see him. It shows ruin, kaput, done, stick a fork in him. Let me see. Where's the elections in here? Where's 22? It's almost like there's July, September. Okay, the elections. He's cut off from the ballots or the elections. Spanky is the what is it? The crossroads is sitting on house Scythe in Spanky's grand tableau right here. And this is the column for July. There's the crossroads, which is your elections, sits on the house of Scythe. And then right here, we're seeing there's an official notice, official, like a court order where he's arguing about power. So, but there's multiple arguments here, more than one that's in the courts where he's challenging the Constitution and his power. But because there's crossroads right here, it's almost like he's taking splitting decisions. And we saw that already in Colorado. He's saying, well, you can't kick me off the ballot because I wasn't the president, so therefore I wasn't an officer of the state. But then in DC, he's saying, and everywhere else, he's saying, well, you can't indict me because I'm the president, therefore I'm immune from everything. So there's two arguments. But if this is the election, he's cut off here. If this is big time troublemaker, Spanky McSpankerton, also, just to be extra petty, as a thing, the clouds refers to anything that is airborne. So you're talking gas, smoke, perfume, incense, odor. So the smelly, confused king, the porta potty dictator, okay, right there, porta potty dictator, elections, no, you're blocked. Mountain in the house of coffin. It's like the trash takes itself out. Am I making sense? Are you picking up what I'm putting down? But that's not, if this is him right here, he's showing up in August. Hold on, let me see what August says for Spanky. The porta potty dictator. Hold on. Where's August? In August, we're seeing that. What the hell is that? Oh, that's my vacuum cleaner turning on. He has a significant loss in August. Significant loss. Let me see. It's the birds, the ring, the child, the dog, the garden, the storks, the whip, and the key. Exactly, Mary. Exactly. Because, the thing is, hold on, I'm going to stop my vacuum cleaner. She's over there running into shit. Hold on. Go back to your house. Stop. Hey, little Braxy. What you doing, baby? So, let me see. What I was saying, Terry, yeah, it's like, well, I have presidential immunity. I can do whatever the hell I want. Okay, well, then Biden can just stay in office. And then Kamala Harris can just say, you know what? Fuck the people. I'm just going to say Joe Biden won the election because, according to Trump, flyhead over there, Pence, had that authority. So therefore, I have the authority. So I'm just going to make Biden the president for another 4 years. And because we're completely outside of the rule of law, when he's done, I'm just going to install myself president because I can do whatever I want, What was it? In July. Let me see what comes up for. The convention would be the garden, Jenny, and I'm looking at Spanky's tableau. The garden doesn't land in the in that column, but there is some sort of a vote or a decision on who is going to work for them. Fox in the house of dog, which is work, dog friend. Okay. And then Lily's in the house of book. So July 15th. Yeah, I don't see the convention in July 15th. That would be the garden. I see it in August in DJ in Porta Potty Dictators Grand Tableau. But that would be great. That would be great if they freaking Rana McDaniel and the RNC nominates him, and then Rana McDaniel's under investigation and she becomes a target. And Spanky, or not, why do I keep calling him Spanky? It's Years of Habit. Porta Potty Dictator is convicted. That'd be great. That would be great. 2 birds with 1 stone. Porta Potty Dictator. Yes, Jenny, that's the new name. That's the new name, because Rudy Giuliani's was far too long and I can't remember. And I know that you remember the name that you gave Rudy Giuliani. I can't, because it was like Rudy Colludi, 4 Seasons. I can't remember the name. But Porta Potty Dictator. I like that one. So oh, that's because the vacuum cleaner is on a schedule. So she just comes out and cleans the house on a schedule. Yeah, Shelby, and Rudy farts on people. That's how he gave that one lawyer COVID. So that's all I got to say. Are there any questions for this? Because my brain is fried, but feel free to ask. Because I know I didn't get everything. Been over here bullshitting. Jenna Ellis, yeah. He farted on Jenna Ellis and she got COVID. Like, she tested positive for COVID a little bit afterwards. Rated COVID farting broke ass indicted Rudy Tootie 4 Season adult bookstore Julian. How the hell did you remember that? See, I'm of the KISS philosophy, Auntie Biscuits, keep it simple, stupid. So Porta Potty Dictator it is, and I'm sticking to it. Or crematorium Giuliani. Ugh, yeah. No, it's for a year. He'll be on the ballot. He will. And he wins the election. Regardless of the shenanigans and the smearing and the hit jobs, if I box him in this way, he's got the clover right here. It's sitting in the House of Crossroads. And even this way, there's the the choices, the election. There's the decision. Achievement. Okay, where am I? His achievements on the job, work and employment here. This goes back to the sun, sitting in the House of Sun, and the corners of this tableau. Is Spanky going to be in the ballot? Oops, let me see. Well, here's Spanky all the way over here in the House of Key, followed by the ship, followed by the clouds, followed by the coffin. Okay? That's his line of fate. He is fuckity fucked. Okay? The ballot is over here. Okay. The elections are right here. Crossroads in the House of Scythe. That tells me cut off. Okay. Over here, porta potty dictator, the king of clubs. Elections, cut off here, blocked here. And then here, loss, stolen. Let me see. But it's almost like you have the letter in the house of tower, tower in the house of letter. And then you have the mice here in its own house, and tree and what do you call it? Garden mirroring in this tableau. It's almost like it's an official notice, something legal that comes through that takes it away. And he's in, but by November, there's an official notice that he's been taken off. And then the taken off is right here with the mice. This little line right here, scythe, cross, mice, anchor, that's an indictment or a conviction. And one of them is for this woman here. Woman in the house of birds. Oh, I saw that, Terry. I saw that. Jenny was asking me about that. If I saw violence. So here, the garden is sitting in the house of tree. Tree is sitting in the house of garden. This could be a growing, something growing in the public, something growing in society, growing his popularity. Okay. The thing is, Trump is down here in the line of fate. All of this stuff is happening, and there's nothing he can do. He can try to agitate the situation. But it's like once that decision is made, it's out of his hands. He can't, this is all weighing on his shoulders. He can't interact, if that's making any sense. What I was telling Jenny was when we did the grand tableau, God damn it, what year was it? September of 2020. And I saw the people with the weapons in the tall official building. Johnny and Jenny helped me with that tableau. That was super clear because it was all in one line right here. It was the tower was here, the garden was here, and then it was the storks above the tower, crossroads here, and then this way it was child whip scythe. So it was this line intersecting with this line. Well, where I fucked up was I went this way. I didn't look down this way to where they intersected to see where the people with weapons were coming from. Little people, lots of weapons, violence, tall building, and then garden was the rally. The storks over the tower was the overturning of the government and the elections. If I would have followed this line down in that tableau, I would have seen that it happened in January. There was death in that tableau because it was the tower was here, the clouds was here. That's death. There were several people that died at that riot. But what I'm trying to get to is that sequence of cards was super, super, super clear. Here, it's broken up. So if this is a rally, well, the weapons are way over here. Do you see what I'm saying? So it doesn't even talk. I can't get them tonight. They don't. It's like it's running at a diagonal to it, not exactly perpendicular, if that's making any sense. I mean, that's not to say that you're not going to have a couple of lone crazies, probably. that like that moron that tried to go after the FBI and ended up getting gunned down in a cornfield somewhere, like people like that. Um, but like a big one like we saw in that one grand tableau in September, before January happened, January 6th happened. I don't see that clearly here because the garden would be the rally. It's way over here. The weapons are way over here. They're not, this is not interacting, if that makes sense. So let me see. What else can I stare at? Any other questions that we can look at? I don't know, Terry. I don't know. I really don't know. There might be this line here also. There might be something around if this is the child or one of the children. They may need to, because of this health and safety, they may need to increase security that's secret around this person, because that falls directly in the child's line. For health reasons, increase in security that's secret. So I'm sure family members get detail, so they might increase his. There's another person and other aides that may also need to have an increase in if I just box the dog in, another person, other aides. The dog is sitting in the house of woman, so also the person that works with him, so Kamala Harris as well, may need to increase security that's secret, because this is punishment, pain, person, and then kaput put. I'm not saying it's going to happen. That's not what I'm saying. It's possible threats. Like there's an increase in security. Also for Spanky, when I was looking at his, not Spanky, Porta Potty Dictator, when I was looking at his tableau, between him and this woman, when I said traditionally it's the wife, something financial around a child that was renegotiated and agreed to. It's official paperwork in regards to finances between him and the skank. It's in a family trust for a child, or because the child, Crossroads is here for the children. Dog in the house of house, family trust. There's the finances and the woman. And then she's hiding money too. Child, woman, business here so that it can't be touched. But it's no bueno. Okay. Will Biden author a book? No, but probably this child here will, maybe. And it could be talking about his health and his road to recovery and improving his health, because the book lands more directly in line with the child. It's closer to him, even though it's a little bit far away. It's closer to him than it is to the father. I don't know where Walty Nauta is, and I'm not looking at Trump's tableau. Celebrations for Biden, yes. Yes. Pardon money. I don't know what that is. I don't know what you're talking about. Where is the bouquet? Okay, that's not it. Okay, so give me 1 second. This is the executive sitting in the House of Garden, okay, with the tower over his head. Because I know Biden's doing a bunch of, I'm not going back to Trump's tableau. I know that Joe Biden is pardoning a bunch of people that have been incarcerated for marijuana, which is long overdue. I don't even know why the hell that still remains a class 1 drug, but whatevs. The cross is not over the ring. Oh, right here this way. There's finances and resources for some sort of military campaign, quite possibly to do with rockets, missiles, bombs, that sort of thing. There's some money that's resources that are going to have to be sacrificed, but it's resolved. There's a resolution, and the money's there. This sits in the House of Fish. The funds are there. But it's almost like, because there's, hold on. It's to a smaller ally. It's rockets, missiles, that sort of thing, to a smaller ally. See, this is another thing I don't fucking understand, dude. Like, this is what I don't understand. All these Republicans are sitting there to hurt Biden. They're pulling all this ludicrous shit, like not funding the Ukraine, knowing full damn well, because these people go to security meetings all the time and get the skinny, get the 411. What a disaster for democracy worldwide it would be to let Ukraine fall to Russia. Yet they continue to do it to score cheap political points, to pledge and appease a fucking wannabe porta potty dictator who has 91 felony counts and 2 impeachments, to help that guy who has already put not only our national security at risk, but our allies' national security at risk by stealing a shit ton of fucking classified documents, showing them to whoever the hell he wanted to. Like, I just can't wrap my head around how you have to have an insane amount of background checks and security clearances to wipe toilets in Congress, but these fucking lawmakers can do whatever the hell they want, up to aiding and abetting a dictatorship regime, all in an effort to undermine the current president so that you can get into power. Like, make that make sense. Make that make sense. I just don't understand it. Like, you're willing to risk global democracy and national security of not only us, but all of our allies, to appease Trump, who has the attention span and the fucking IQ of a goddamn cockroach. for like, you're not going to create a big, like, I just don't understand it, you guys. I can't. It doesn't make any goddamn sense. It doesn't make any goddamn sense to me. I can't wrap my head around it. It's short-term thinking. Exactly, Lynn. It's short-term thinking. But the thing is, these people go into meetings. They know what's happening. They know more than we know because of all the classified stuff. And they're like, yeah, well, fuck it. Let's get Trump back into power, or any other Republican. Let's just say whatever the fuck we want to say, keep dividing the country further, play political theater, even though we're hurting ourselves and our allies. And oh, by the way, our allies are losing trust in us, all just so we can make Biden look like shit. Like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah, our adversaries would be too big, but hey, appease Donald Trump. I got lobbyists over there who want to take me out to a nice fancy dinner and let me, bang a couple of hookers on the side, and don't tell my wife about my 20 mistresses. I don't fucking get it. I don't get it. And another thing here that is a manipulation here, the dog is loyalty and trust. Hurting our loyalty and trust. Manipulation. A smear. It's just like, I don't get it. And I think this person here, when she goes out and delivers the message, there is more than enough of a talking point to the country, and to be able to deliver that successfully about all of his achievements, and how the majority here, the many that are conservative, have hurt our trust and our allies by manipulating stuff. And there's plenty of criticism to go around for that. Impeached their own speaker. Took them 2 weeks to get their shit together. Now that speaker thinks he's fucking Moses, And then I was talking to Johnny in the after show. He was telling me Moses wandered around the desert 40 years lost and never made it to the promised land. And I'm like, well, thanks for the foreshadowing, like, you have crazies like Marjorie Taylor Greene wanting to impeach everybody. And they're hurting the country, and they're hurting our allies, and they're hurting our standing. All of us globally, for political points and short-term thinking and short-term power. I make it make sense to me like I'm a freaking idiot, because I understand greed, but this is beyond greed. I don't even know if it has a word. And if there is, it's not within my vocabulary. Because I just can't comprehend how anybody would think that any of this is a good idea. So, yeah, Lynn, remember when the gas prices were high and Joe Biden was trying to lower the gas prices, and all the Republicans were trying to hurt him, so they went against lowering the gas prices? And then, it's like, and then Marjorie Taylor Greene came up with another genius idea to impeach Joe Biden because he was trying to lower the gas prices so he can win an election. It's like, no, he's just doing his fucking job, you goddamn moron. Like, and she doesn't even have the common sense to realize that she's basically telling the idiots on Fox. Well, actually, you know what? She doesn't, because that's how much contempt they have for their audience. They know that they're so stupid that they will vote against their own interest. Like, Joe Biden wants to lower the gas prices and he should be impeached because he's trying to win an election. And the idiots that watch Fox News are like, yeah, I want to keep paying $7 a gallon. It's like, are you fucking kidding me right now? It's insanity. If there's a country left, Terry, I mean, what are they going to really? Ted Cruz. Can you see? Oh my God. Speaking of Ted Cruz, did you guys see him? I just saw it on Twitter. the other day because it was trending that he was giving a political speech and he was all riled up that the reason the women on the left are so angry all the time is because uh, liberal men don't know how to satisfy us in bed. And I'm watching that and I'm going, says the fat fuck that hasn't seen his dick in 15 years. Like, I mean, what the hell is wrong with these people's obsession with sex? Like, what is it? I don't get it. You really think she's stupid, Lynn? You don't think it's an act? Like Lauren Boebert, like I know the GED, the GED academic over there is really fucking stupid, but sometimes I wonder if MTG is not really that dumb. She just has so much contempt for her audience and knows how much the Republican base is that she just knows that she can just spew bullcrap and they'll believe it, Ugh. Like Spanky wanting his signature on the stimulus checks back in 2020. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. It's like you led us into this disaster. Like denied COVID for how many months before it got completely fucking out of hand? When it got completely out of hand, while telling us it didn't exist, while also not letting that one cruise ship full of passengers and travelers come back into the States because they all had COVID and he didn't want the COVID numbers to go up. It's like, I'm telling you, man. Probably not, Sweet Pea. Probably not. Yeah, MTG just likes being mean, just to be mean. Like, I am not a person that condones violence. I don't support it, but that one right there, I would love to see get popped in the mouth just one goddamn time, just once, just once. She's like one of those little fucking ankle biter dogs, just like, and then you confront her and she runs away like a bitch. Yeah, but yeah, yes, Terry, the Trump and the middle class taxes are going up thanks to Trump, and the rich will still get their cut. Yeah, and then now the new campaign thing for Trump is, oh yeah, Trump needs to, when he gets back in office, he's going to cut taxes on the middle class because they need it. And these stupid motherfuckers are like, yeah, well, he told you he cut your taxes. Your taxes are still the same. As a matter of fact, they've been going up incrementally every year while adding more money to the debt. Jesus Christ. Why do you need a plane ticket, Jenny? Where are you going? Ugh. Sorry, I'm like ranting and just doing whatever, but my brain is fried and I think I'm kind of over this GT, to be honest. But I have it in my notes. If anything comes up, I can bring it up again and look at it. Oh. Oh, okay. You wanted someone to pop MTG one in the mouth? I'll go with you, Jenny. I'll go with you. Again, it's just a joke. I don't condone violence or any of that stuff. I'm not saying any of that. Like, go out and pop her. But boy, would I pay big money to see that happen. Just once. Just once. Oh my gosh. Speaking of assholes, the other day I saw it on Twitter. Joe Rogan was bragging about how Joe Biden is so old and demented, and he said some sort of a statement, and he said it was Joe Biden that said it. And then he checked his notes and checked himself. No, it wasn't Joe Biden that said what Joe Rogan was quoting Joe Biden said to smear him. No, that was his, porta potty dictator Donald Trump the one that said that. And then when he caught himself, that was misrepresenting Joe Biden and accusing Joe Biden of something he said, which it wasn't Joe Biden that said it, it was Trump. Then he was trying to like weasel his way out of it. It's like, how do people even listen to that freaking clown on talk radio? Like, the guy is such a fucking idiot. I hate Joe Rogan. I hate Elon Musk. I hate all these stupid people. Isn't Paxton going against HIPAA? I don't know. Yeah, and then Tim Burchett said all the GOP are all in hotels with hookers and doing drugs. I mean, nobody cares. Nobody cares. You're just shitty people. Like, just stop. Just stop. But any other questions for this? No PB&J. No, I would have to bleach my brain after that, because he is one person that I despise. I loathe him with the heat of a million suns. He is such a piece of shit. There's one that's still active, 2535 Apple. Go back and find that one and watch it. I'm not doing another one. It's like they're all on drugs, thinking they're all that, having affairs and orgies. That's how people on cocaine or meth act. Oh, Terry, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. Yeah, that is against HIPAA. Man, that's another one, dude. You just got busted and almost had your ass thrown out had it not been for the Orange Mango blackmailing people to not kick your ass out. You were about to get you got impeached and you were about to get convicted for using taxpayer money for funding your mistress. Ooh, I can't. I'm gonna have a big old bowl of popcorn when karma comes for him. Get your bottle of Ick 45 Swamp Ass. Ew, the toilet for all the MAGA friends for Christmas. That's funny, Jed. Ew, the toilet. Oh, man. Toilet water Trump. And if you order now, you might get a piece of classified information. You know? Dear God. I mean, what a disaster. This guy, I mean, he's always been a piece of shit, but to think that he is now trying to make his fortunes off of selling NFT cards and pieces of his old suit to a bunch of three-tooth trailer park hillbillies to keep himself relevant is the fall from grace that only karma could deliver, you know? So yep. Any other questions? Because I'm tired and I got to give the baby her eardrops. This Grand Tableau is not on Trump, Jana. This is on the current. I know, Lisa or Linda. So, yeah, she's got an ear infection, Mary. Oh, okay, sorry. Sorry, Jana. All right, you guys. I'm going to give Braxy her little biscuit for Auntie Biscuits and give her little ear medicine stuff, and we'll see how I'm feeling tomorrow. I may or may not go live. I don't know. Depends. All right, everybody. Thanks for hanging out. Great seeing y'all tonight. And I shall see you again. I'll see you when I see you. How about I don't make any promises? Okay, everybody. Have a good one. Ciao.